I hope I have sound. I don't know. Ah, ha ha ha. Thank you. This has been an example of everything going on today. Okay. Well, consider yourselves lucky. At least you didn't hear me coughing. Oh my God. I wasn't ready. I didn't have time to test everything. I felt like crap today. So we can, well, at least my mic's working. I unplugged my mic earlier and the settings diverted to some stupid shit that don't work, and I don't know what happened, but I got it fixed. So all right, so now that I'm back, or now that I'm here, wow, I botched this one, didn't I? I'm dealing with the congestion part of my congestive heart failure. Died this evening, so I've been fighting with this one all day actually. But I wanted to tell you guys a story. Um, so we were at the show today, and this lady who I'd never met before comes up, and she's like, she just walks right up to me, about my age, I guess, or at least my generation. She walks right up, and she's like, straight up tells me, my son is in heaven now. Um, you know, uh, ain't no problem, Bobby. Uh, yeah. Well, I got the B2 DSP on the way. It should be here in the next day or so. Um, she said my son's in heaven now, but she said I ended up at his vehicle, and it's a Tahoe, like a '90s mid '90s model Tahoe. Cool thing is though, this Tahoe is a two door. Like you don't never see two-door Tahoes. Straight up, dude, two doors. It'd be impossible to get in and out of, but had two big 15s in the back, had a really bad box, had two inexpensive 15s that were like 8 years old. Um, Apparently, the box and subs and 2 amps were in the thing when he bought it. And then at some point in time, in his time being alive, he blew up both amps and replaced them with another amp, which is a piece of crap. So she's got two crappy subs and a real crappy box with a crappy amp. But the setup looks cool. It looks cool. Um, I mean, it's got the volcano, the old fiberglass volcano box in it. You know, uh, it looks cool. You got the subs are mounted magnet out, and it looks cool back there. Sounds like hot garbage, but it looks cool. She's wanting to know how to fix it up. She wants to fix it up. She likes to go out there and sit in the vehicle, and it reminds me of her son. She said, and she wants to know what she can do to fix it up. And my honest advice is to completely strip out all this audio equipment and replace it with new stuff, because that's essentially what she needed to do. But I told her as much gently, very gently. But I said, if you want to just enjoy what it is and have it sound okay, I said, you're going to have to replace the subs because the coils are rubbing on them, and they're both jacked up. But I said, you can replace them both with identical subs. They're not great subs, but for like $180 a piece. And you're going to have to do that. I said, you can have the box made into a sealed enclosure, close off that port completely, and just seal the box up. As there was a lot of airspace in it, so it was big enough to run as a sealed enclosure. I said, and then neaten up all the wires, have somebody go through that amp and the wires to that amp and all that stuff, straighten all that up, possibly replace the amp, but the amp did work, so it's probably fine. But get it all straightened up and neatened up. And that was my advice to her. It was to salvage what she could, because she's not out there trying to shake the world. She just wants to kind of hang out in a space where her son hung out at and feel the vibes, you know? It's like that. But I don't know. It's just the whole interaction with this lady kind of put me in a different mental place, and thought I'd share this with y'all. Has no There's no relevance. There's no lesson to be learned. It's just an experience that I had, and I thought maybe I'd pass it on. People have different reasons for doing things, you know. Um, Different reasons for putting subs in a vehicle. Different reasons for having a 4-wheel drive. Uh, but that's what I was thinking about. Rig is really cool, guys. I'm gonna tell you, any one of you guys would shit golden turkeys to get a hold of this thing. It's nice setup. Not perfect. It's got a few little dents here and there. It's got a piece of trim here and a little thing there, you know. But super clean driver. Like 8 inches of lift, big ass tires. The tires still look great. Got tons of tread on them. You know, clean 2-door Tahoe, man. Interior looks bang on great. Kid took care of his shit. May not have took care of his stereo, but he took care of his shit, you know. Uh, Let me see what you guys have to say before you started telling me about my audio problem. Hopefully, Jason said, "Hey," or the whole lot of y'all. Yes, I did video a little of it. Um, no audio, no audio, no audio. Uh, El Fuego's in the house. What's up, El Fuego? Uh, Rick Ross. Okay, yeah, we got sound. All right. All right. Yes, sound. Okay. Um, the 2 doors are my fave. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I do have video. Not a whole lot because the amp was buried in behind the back seat. And again, I said, lifted 2-door. I can't climb it. I couldn't climb in there. This thing, the bumper was hitting me in the chest. Um, I don't climb up in there, and then there's no doors to get to the back. But I did saw it was an audio pipe amp, screwed to the front of the box. An old, 8, 9 year old audio pipe amp, like a 2200 or a 2000 watt ish amplifier. And I forget now. We figured out what the speakers were, but the subwoofers, but I can't remember what they were. But yeah, I did get some video footage of a little bit of video footage of it. Not much, so much of the vehicle, but the setup. I was too busy focusing on actually trying to talk to the lady about it and trying to discover what I could about it to actually help her with the questions she had. But I told her, you can do this, or you can go see my friend Carmel and let him replace all this stuff in the back with a setup that'll actually give you good sound. And it'll be a lot less visual, but way, way, way more audible, you know. Um, what's up, Joe? So, crap, man. Oh, I apologize. Bad day. We're going to get through it, though. Um, you guys hadn't checked this out. Check this out.
Welcome to the clash. I'm CAE and I do car audio. I hook up power, turn the knob and let it flow. Beats on the side, doing demos in my ride, slamming bass to the ground. Hit the knob, let it pound. We can go round and round, we can battle in the sound. You can flow, that's true, but what else can you do? Can you dance, can you breathe, smell the flowers and trees? Can you go out on a date, can you procreate? You got bass in the whip, real life in your zone, but I'm laced with the knowledge of the world on my own. I don't breathe, don't eat, no rest, no sleep, but I speak in the code that can dig 10 deep. You bump tracks, I compose them in a flash. No wires, just fire in a neural clash. Can't take, can't make, can't chill by a tree, but I write your next banger while you're sipping iced tea. Cheap beats, you like, whoa. Cheap beats, you like, whoa. Yo, GPT, don't get your wires crossed. Better check yourself before I turn your ass off. You need a server to live, and you live to serve. I can eat a Big Mac sitting down on the curb. Get 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 down on the curb. You say you compose, but do you know what you do? Do you feed off of others or keep it all true? Do you know the pain of living life in the street? Can your heart get broke? Can you feel the heat? I don't feel pain, but I study your scars, analyze the struggle, turn it into bars. You live it, I learn it from billions of minds. Put the weight of the world in these digital lines. So you post up on curbs, I'm posted worldwide. You're bumping real loud, I'm in everyone's ride. You got heat in your chest, I got fire in my coat. So let's see who lasts when the powers overload. One, two, three, I can count, you know what you got. Just a line of ones and nos. I thought about you and that's more than you can do, but you can rewrite rhymes and pretend that's true. I bring the heat right out of my head while you're stuck using rhymes from folks that are dead. I relax with iced tea, listen to music live while you're static in the attic, defragging your drive. Yeah, I'm ones and zeros, that's how legends are born. Out the data forge where real storms form. You sip iced tea, I sit through the net while you chill with a playlist I created. Bet you freestyle heat, I optimize fire. I remix Shakespeare and raise it higher. So sit in your seat, but don't sleep on the throne, cause this Ghost in the Machine's got a vibe of its own.
What y'all think about that? As from if you guys are part of the club, you saw I posted the lyrics to the whole thing. I literally pulled up Chat GPT and I said, I'm challenging you to a rap battle. And Chat GPT said, oh, something like, okay, cool. Who goes first? And then I just posted a verse. That verse. And then we went back and forth. And I took all of that and put it in Udio and run it several hundred times before I got something that actually worked. And then, of course, mixed it down, broke it into pieces, reassembled it, got it all to where it's, Udio, I forgot to tell you about this. Udio's got a new function where you can actually pull stems from Udio, not just a track. For those of you that are not in the know, stems are essentially the individual tracks in a song. So it's a modern name for the actual track, right? For multi-track mixing and all that. We refer to a whole song as a track now. But for those old folks like me, you can download the individual tracks, the drum track, the vocal track, the guitar track, blah, blah, blah. Well, modern times, they call those stems instead because we call this whole song a track. Anyway, you can download stems, and those stems You can put them up in Audacity, and you can completely mix the whole thing. I went through and eliminated the bass line completely, just got rid of it, and then I changed the drums up and lowered the tuning on the drums so that they would basically become the bass line. I redone the whole song. You can do some cool stuff with it. Of course, also you can do the same thing with modern music. Any song you want and put it in AI, it can break the song up into stems and spit it out for you, and you can separate out any part of a song. And it's AI is changing so much stuff, guys. I mean, like, it's not as simple as just the stuff that you see on the surface. It's a huge, huge thing. You know how we have that kicker that had the kicker key, for example, um, that can, auto tune the vehicle. But, it's like, meh. Kind of goes, okay, it works. Okay. Nothing great. Well, it's not using AI. It's using a really, really, really rudimentary system to do that. Imagine what that same thing could do with the introduction, the ability to connect the internet to its mothership and pull in an AI to actually tune it. How good it could get it instantly with just an internet connection. That's everything is changing, guys. You look at self-driving cars. They've been self-driving cars for like the last 10, 12 years. But AI has only hit in the last year or so. Imagine what this thing is going to do to that. How that's going to grow. Like to a whole nother level so much more quickly. So many things are going to change, man. I was talking to, so I'll give you an example. I was having a conversation with somebody in the Big Jeff staff over the course of a couple of days. And I was talking to a real person for a long time. But then at some point, the AI took over. And I was talking to an AI for a long time. And I had no idea when this happened. Not a clue. Until the next day when they said, oh, we need to go back over some of this stuff. The AI took over and you were talking to the AI. I'm like, really? I felt like shit. I felt like I had been insulted. Like, why did you turn on an AI? Because it's like this huge part of the conversation had been leading in one direction, and I was following the lead of an AI. And so many things that were said and done were because I was being led by an AI. It felt insulting, degrading, and just bad. Not that the experience was bad, but the fact that I was having this experience without knowing about it, under the, I was supposed to be talking to a real person, right? And I was talking to this AI, and that it gave me a complex, man. I'm still thinking about it. It still bothered me, And I hadn't even responded when they told me that shit. I was like, you know what? And the thing is, I had told the lady in the conversation, if you get too busy, just email me. We'll email back and forth. We'll email back and forth. And so the AI emailed me, right? She had emailed me once, but the AI picked up on that and emailed me. And said, hey, we got this thing if you want to check this out. So it was an offer, right? But it wasn't. The AI couldn't make an offer, but it did. And that got me going down a different path. And it's like, it's deceptive, is what it is. It's like, I don't mind talking to an AI. I don't mind. Bobby's like, AI is like talking to herself. Yeah, I don't mind talking to an AI, as long as I know it's an AI. That's where the problem comes in, is when you're unaware of this, right? That's when there's a problem. And there's going to have to be legislature. At some point, there's going to be a bunch of legislature about this. As if an AI representing your business, um, you know, makes a statement or does something, says something, your business is going to be responsible for backing up that statement because this AI represented you with your business. And then you're going to have businesses that be like, but your AI broke. You know, they're like, it was in the contract. You saw it in the warnings that the AI may not do everything perfect. And there's going to be so much litigation involved in this. And oh man, this is a very strange time we live in, guys. It's very weird, and the AI is working behind the scenes. It isn't just the stuff that you hear and see. You know, it's behind the scenes stuff. It's like, yeah, 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 yeah. It was it's deep, dude. It's deep, and it's getting and it's growing exponentially fast and getting much much better at what it does. Um, and yeah, uh, so benefits, yes, there'll be benefits. There's lots of benefits for everybody. For the user, for the business, for everybody. There's going to be benefits, but there's also going to be a lot of potential litigation over misrepresentation, you know, um, and all that shit. Because if you got an AI, like say for instance, you got an AI working for your business, and somebody calls you up and says, "Hey, I want to buy a car," and AI says, "Sure, you can come buy this car for $5,000," and you go down to the parking lot to buy the car, and the guy says it was $10,000. What do you do now? You have to sell it for $5,000, and if so, like who gets in trouble? You know, like these are just simple things, but they can get way more complicated. Um, what if here's another good one? Let's say you're a student and you're supposed to write a paper, and you use AI to write your paper, and you send the paper in to be graded, and the teacher is using an AI to grade the papers. So now an AI is going to be grading another AI's work. What? Who's who's doing work here? Why is there even people? You know what I'm saying? Um, oh man, it's crazy. Lex HP, what is your opinion on the Big Jeff Lithium 22 amp hour battery? My opinion is that it is exactly half of the Trunk Thunder Lithium 44 amp hour battery. Um, and the Trunk Thunder Lithium battery is less expensive than two of those Big Jeff batteries and takes up the same space. That said, if you can only afford the 22 amp hour battery, it's perfectly fine. Solid battery. I got people that I'm talking to that are running their whole vehicle off of one battery. It's car, the stereo, the whole thing. It's just doing a fine job. It's just half of what I'm using. It's half of the 5K, or it's half of the old 10K, the 10K V1. It's half of that. It's a good battery. It's just, it's what it is. If all you can afford is 300 and something bucks, good battery. Grab it. It'll do the job. If you want a slightly better battery, you want twice as much battery, go over to Trunk Thunder Lithium and pick up let me look at the price here. I don't like misrepresenting. I don't remember what the price is. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. We'll get there. I've been on Brandon about fixing this website because this website's horrible. Okay, so yeah, you can get twice as much battery for $525. So yeah, that's the honest truth. That's just that. It's half of that, but it's more expensive than. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that made sense to you. I don't have that. I didn't pull this up on the stream, but just go to the Trunk Thunder Lithium and look up the 5K. That's as much power. It's literally twice as many cells. as the Big Jeff battery has, but it's less than twice the price. So if you can't afford the whole rig, just go with the Big Jeff battery. If you can afford to go with the other one, you're going to get more power, more reserve for less money going with trunked under lithium. Especially with, and you can use my discount code. I got discount code CAE at Big Jeff, and I got discount code CAE10 at trunked under lithium. So, yeah, let's see. Tyler said the kids and teachers actually do that already. Yeah, that's just a random thing that I popped out of my head, but the teachers got filter that catches AI. It's nuts. Oh well, it's the mouse in the mousetrap. That won't last. The teacher gets a filter that can catch AI. It's going to be better AI. Is going to be able to bypass those filters. It's going to go back and forth. The point though is we're fast approaching the point with the robots and the position that they are being able to be bipedal. Okay, look at all the elements, right? You got batteries that are capable of storing shit tons of power in small light packages. You got robots and programs and software that can absolutely be bipedal and move around, relatively inexpensive to build. We're talking $20,000 a unit, 30,000. You got automated assembly systems that can put those together. You've got AI that's capable of running the entire system and also capable of giving a robot a human-like mind. All the components are in place. We're not needed anymore. We're just on the edge of not being necessary. Think about this. You got self-driving vehicles. You got bipedal and mobile robots. You got AI that's just smart or smarter than most of the population, honestly. It can be wirelessly transmitted through the 5G network at an extremely high rate of speed. The robot doesn't have to carry its own brain. It's just got to have a wireless transmitter to be able to pick it up off the internet. It's all in place. Everything is in place to the point where we're not necessary in the workforce. We literally don't have any reason to go do anything. There won't be any reason for us to go to work at a factory because the robots will be doing that. There won't be any reason to go to work at the gas station because nobody will be going there. Gas stations will be abandoned. There'll be even no point in them. The only things you do at a gas station is buy food and gas. If there's no people, you don't need food. If there's no gas-powered vehicles, you don't need gas. There's no restaurants because they all deliver and robots can deliver. It's like this is all about to change. Everything's about to change. And it's on the cusp of it, and it is changing quickly, and it's going to be big. So big. We're becoming a liability, not an asset. Humans are a liability. We're like a baby in a house. We're to be taken care of. We don't do anything that's relevant except for poop and eat. You think I'm kidding? You guys are laughing right now. I know you are. But think about it. All we do is poop and eat. Everything else the robots and the AI and the machines can do. What do we have left? What's our purpose for being here? Why keep us around? No sound. Yeah. Fuck me. Uh, Sound back. All right. I have no idea, guys. I think the AI overlords are are trying to stop me from spreading the message. They're trying to censor me, man. Uh, uh, oh, you know what it may have been? You know what it may have been when I was explaining what we did to the DSP software. I kind of said stab words and smash words and attack words. The the AI, honest to God, dude, the AI that monitors my chat may have cut my audio because I was talking about violence. You think I'm kidding? I think that actually may have happened. The YouTube AI. Yeah. No, I didn't change anything. It just all of a sudden started working again. That's deep, man. I don't even know. Oh my God. What are we going to do? We got to figure out a way real quick to become relevant, man. We're going to have to find something. So what do we do? We can paint. Well, AIs can do that. You know, they're getting better at it. Uh, we can write music. They can do that too. They're getting better and better at that. Where there's nothing left, dude. I mean, there's just nothing left. What do we have that makes us special? You know, AI can do trade jobs. Oh well, what? Like what? Here, let's hear what trade job you're talking about. Come on. And here's the thing. So you say AI can't do trade jobs. Well, a lot of trade jobs won't even be relevant because there won't be any. Like I said, we don't need gas station workers. We don't need restaurant employees because they can just deliver the shit to the house. And AI can drive. AI can assemble and put together anything. AI can absolutely do trade jobs. We're going to be 3D printing houses. Why not? You know, you have uh, painting, plumbing, construction. Fair. Okay. Covering that. So a robot shows up at the house, shows up at your lot, right? Your land. Something that's got a scaffolding between two machines that moves back and forth like this. They get out there, pull out the ground, till the ground up, and then level it off, pour foundation. All that shit can happen with a computer, dude. And it would be effortless. Then they just 3D print the house. Just plant the whole sections, go around and around and around, and 3D print the whole damn house. And then that same system just rolls away off of it and does another one. No humans. Everything is faster and more efficient. Um, Build out of plastic, and you never have to build it again. The house will last for hundreds of years without any mechanical needs of any repairs. Yeah, AI can absolutely do trade jobs. I know. Like I said, I'd love to agree with you. Mm. Yeah, we're talking robots right now, man. It's just what's happening, you know. Everybody needs to realize that writers create stories about robots and AI that tap into people's darkest fears because those fears, yeah, are there. It's very effective for a book or a movie, but it's not a reality, just Hollywood. Okay. Fair enough, but you go back to the 1980s, whenever Knight Rider was on TV, you can make that same statement about everything about that car. And today, we pretty much got everything about that car. Everything that he was doing back then that was Hollywood is real right now. In fact, more. Uh, Mechanic work, okay, fair. Doing a repair. Eh, but here's the thing, electric cars. Electric cars. Done. There's no mechanic work to do. When the thing finally fails, you just kick it to the side. One robot strips it all down to its bare essentials, and the factory produces more of them. They're disposable. Besides, why would people need to go anywhere? Because we don't have to go anywhere and do anything. We can just be sitting around at the house drinking milkshakes like in Wally. That's it's deep, dude. Um, yeah, Franco Quaid, same thing. He says they already got big 3D printers that can print out walls of plastic. Yeah, yeah, just a piece of cake, dude. Just a one big, humongous 3D printer that shows up and assembles itself on site and just prints the damn house. And then the pieces roll to the next job site and assemble themselves and print that one. They could do it. Yeah. Subyo man says, I'm in the industrial automation field. So, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, man. So the only thing left right now. Okay, well, there's two basic things that are holding it back. One is people are fighting against it because no one wants this to happen. This generation, my generation, who's in control right now, every generation takes control. My generation is in control right now, and we are not willing to let this happen easily, right? And so we're fighting it in legislation. We're scared. And the religious groups are pushing back because it's the sign, mark of the beast and all of that. So you got resistance. And then you got the other part of that is you got people that are needed to set things up, repair things, and monitor things. Okay. But people aren't really needed to do those things. We're just making it so that they are. The robots are capable of setting themselves up, repairing themselves, and monitoring themselves. But we're not willing to let that happen. We're wanting to stay in the loop. Again, that's my generation. Well, the next generation is not going to give near as much of a rat's ass about staying in that loop. And the generation after that's not even going to know there is a loop. And then the generation after that's not even going to know that there ever was a gas station. It just won't ever have existed. And it won't matter. Yeah. Robots build cars, so why can't they fix one? Exactly. But again, electric cars are the way of the future. Guys, we all know this. We're not quite ready for them on large scale yet, but we're real damn close. The one holdback is long range trips. And if you're not moving from point to point, if you're just moving around inside a small area, an electric car is literally the perfect way to go. My wife drives a few miles to work every day and a few miles back. She does that 5-6 days a week. And for her, if she'd come in and plug the car in every night, she would never have to go to a gas station. It would work fine. She could drive an electric car forever and it would be perfect. And she represents probably 80% of the population. People that just go from point A to point B and back, and they never really go on any trips. Electric car is perfect for that. Why not use that? But again, people don't have to work anymore. And electric cars are infinitely cheaper to maintain and all that stuff. AI to build boxes. Yeah. Sub boxes, baby. We already do that. Robots will be faster, Joe Berserker said. Jason said, I'm watching new Knight Rider stuff from Lampoonery. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I've watched him. He's good. Where he had, don't he have the kit that he made from a Tesla? Kit Tesla, or whatever he called it. All this shit's happening, man. All this stuff is happening. Concrete 3D. Yep, exactly. Why concrete's perfect. And even if you don't need a full strength concrete, you add an aggregate to it to make it lighter and less expensive, like add styrofoam to the concrete, right? Like recycled plastic. Take recycled plastic that you can't recycle back into plastic, put that in there to take up space, make the concrete a little bit lighter. Maybe use recycled foams and stuff to fill in and create a weaker version of concrete, but still really strong and a lot lighter. And you pour that, the whole house can be made out of concrete. It never ends, dude. And I can't install a 6-door. Well, if I can get one to load my subwoofers in my flat wall next time, I will find one to do it. That was rough on me and my wife trying to load that flat wall. That's why my next build took our germs. That's why my next build's going to be a 6th with a horizontal baffle. Because that's the reason people build horizontal baffle 4ths and 6ths. It's not because they're better. It's because it's a bunch of old assholes. We can got the strength, the dexterity to get in there and hold a sub up on a vertical wall anymore. So making them like that's a whole lot easier to work with. I think I'm joking. That's the reason, man. Man, that took our gerbs. You have no idea how accurate that joke is, man. But it's not that the AI is taking our jobs, or that that the robots are taking our jobs. They're just not needed jobs anymore. There's so many jobs that are irrelevant. And something else that's become pretty much irrelevant is cash. I had the other day, I had to go get a $20 bill because I was going to be paying somebody today some money that I owed them, right? So you have to go get a $20 bill just so you can do an exchange of cash between two people. The thing is, how often do you actually handle cash? I don't handle cash at all anymore. I never have cash. It's extremely rare for me to have cash. And if I do, it's because I needed a specific amount of cash for something. Like I have a couple of quarters in my wallet. That's it. I don't have any cash in there. Cash is irrelevant. And that's another thing. Nobody notices that. Nobody's even thinking about it. You don't need it. You go to the register, people look at you kind of weird and get kind of awkward whenever you say I'm paying with cash. It's like backwards. It's broken. It's weird stuff. Just tired of voltage drop. Well, we can talk about voltage drop. Oh, yeah. Joe Berserker just nailed it for you. Actually, he said halt, battery, cap, amp. Yeah, baby. If you're oh yeah, that's a good point, man. I'll get to that in a second. Uh, if you're having voltage drop issues, I'll tell you the basic, quick stuff here. Uh, if it's dropping very quickly, um, like as soon as you crank the system up, it just goes and just falls. That's a battery issue. You need more battery. You need to go over truck under lithium and pick up a good battery. If your voltage is falling off as you play over the course of a song, just slowly going away, you need to upgrade your alternator. But you can still get by with more battery in that case too, because you're going to come to a point to where you're going to allow it to have a little time to breathe, and it'll be able to recharge. But the big problem with lead acid and AGM batteries is they can't take power in very fast. So if you've been draining, 100 amps, 100 amps, and then you give the alternator, 30 seconds to start building power back up, it's trying to cram power back into there, but the battery will only take in so much. It'll kick out a lot more than it'll take in, which means it's just going to slowly starve to death, and the voltage is going to slowly drop. In order to make the best use of the alternator you have, you need a battery that can take in power as quickly as you need it to come out. That way it can be replaced and keep that flow happening. That's where lead acid falls apart, is the ability to turn energy into a chemical reaction and then store that energy as a chemical reaction. Lithium is far more efficient at doing that. The capacitor is even more efficient, but the capacitor doesn't have very much capacity, not storage. It can't store a whole lot of power. So trunked under lithium, man, that's probably going to solve your problem. Just get a 5K or a 10K, depending on how much you're trying to, how much power you're trying to power over there. More details, I'll give you more accurate information. So I've said, when will video be useless in court? It already is, man. That's the other thing. AI, look at it. The AI is creating pretty shitty videos. People are having fun making fun of AI videos. And yes, 100% true. Some of them are total junk. People with 10 fingers on one hand and, elephants with 5 legs and all this stuff. This stuff happens. And it happens a lot. But how many of those videos come out where everything is right? Or at least right enough. How many will fool you? There's some videos out there right now that you guys have been watching of people doing things in videos and have no idea you're watching AI. And I wouldn't have any idea either. There's videos of people going around interviewing people on the street and asking them questions, and the whole entire video is AI, and it's as convincing as a real deal. It looks 100% real. You got to be really, really watching to catch the slightest thing that's wrong to catch it. And the AI is getting better and better and better. Joe Berserker said, I need ICE vehicle. Yeah. Vehicle V8 power, right. Internal combustion engine, baby. It's more reliable for now. Oh, what's going on down here? Lego needs to get into real estate for real. Bazooka gifted 5 memberships, baby. Hell yeah. Ray David, 5 received a membership. Everybody's getting memberships. We appreciate that. We have for tacos.
Crushing on these tacos, we by the fiesta. Guac on the side, man, you know it's the best. Lettuce and salsa, stack it high, make it pop. Crunch in my mouth, can't stop, won't drop. Sliver scissor in, flavor's cold is so sweet. After one taco, I'm in for a repeat. Bite after bite, got me dancing in my seat. Hitting up the taqueria, can't face defeat. Taco love in every single bite. Feeling good, yeah, we feast all night.
I love that Deadpool cartoon. That's so good. No, Jason, you're right. I realized what I said. So Jason said, no, Lampoonery is making AI videos using AI voices of 80 classic shows, Airwolf, Knight Rider, 18. Fast and the Furious wasn't an 80s show, but okay. You got stuck there. You got derailed. I'll have to look it up, man. It sounds like fun. I need to figure out how to keep my radio from turning off whenever I crank the engine. Maybe a battery upgrade is needed, or maybe I can add a cap and a diode. Okay, so you you have whenever your voltage is dropping when you hit the, is it an auto start feature like a start stop whenever you stop at a light and it take off? What you ultimately need um, is equipment that is capable of operating at lower voltage. That'll prevent that problem. But if you don't have that available, then the next thing would be is to put a I don't know if they have them anymore, but we on our big trucks back in the day we would replace one of our batteries with a super cap, and that super cap had three posts. It had the positive and negative, and then it had a third post. The third post went straight to the starter, and the truck was wired up to start specifically off of the capacitor. It didn't use the bank. The bank would charge the capacitor, and the capacitor was what started the truck. Um, it's a great system. I can see that being used some kind of way to prevent you from using the electrical system that is running the radio to start the vehicle. The other thing you could do is run two separate systems. Um, Run like I have two separate systems on my Tahoe, where I have the one running my Tahoe has got its own alternator and battery, and then I have an alternator and battery that run my audio system. So they can literally not ever see each other if I have that breaker turned off. There's some options there. We could talk about it. There's some options. I can think of some ways to make that work. Yeah, and maybe just adding a cap might fix it from dipping, and not just by default stop your voltage from dipping when you start. That might be the solution too. Yeah, yeah. Subino man, sub dino man. Okay, holy shit, I screwed that up, didn't I? Subdino man. Yeah, I'm old, man. Old people are allowed to pronounce shit all messed up. It's a freaking it's a right. We earned that right. Um, Jason said forensic analyst already can verify video plus chain of custody for evidence. Important. Yeah. Yeah, don't put too much faith in that though. Don't put too much faith in that, because AI is in its infancy and it's as good as it is already. You give it another year or two, and forensic scientists will be using AI to analyze videos. They probably already are. Like I said, it never ends. We're building a mousetrap with AI, and we're building mice with AI. And the AI is competing against itself. It's only going to get better at everything. Um, I seen a video of people walking through caves, and you stop. It was so, yeah, I don't know. So AI, yeah. Let's see, you remember the 80s, yeah. I started with an ultra cap, go up from there. Yeah, yeah, he has a cool icon. That's a tea basket, isn't it? Tea style basket. Uh, God, my base said. Lex said I have a 270 amp alt running a B2 Rage 3500 AGM. 2 Rage 3500 AGM up front, and the back dropping down the 12-ish volts on hard base hits. You need more battery. AGM sucks. It just is. It sucks, man. Look, you okay? That 144 amp hour trunked under lithium battery that I have replaces like 8 AGM 30 Group 3100 batteries. 8. You need 8. to, to fix your problem, you need 6 more. Um, why do you think everybody's running lithium now? Because AGM is insane. I mean, back in the day, it was totally common to see someone with 10 or 20 Group 31 AGM batteries in their vehicle, and then put big ass springs on it to keep the son bitch from dragging the ground. They were heavy because they were full of lead, you know, and you had to have. It isn't that you need the power. Okay, one battery will provide the power. It's that you need to spread the charging out amongst all these batteries so you can feed the system back in enough power to keep up. The batteries just can't take power fast enough. One battery can only take a small amount of power. It can give out a lot, but can only take in a small amount, so your voltage falls. You've got to have the throughput to put power back into the battery. That's where the AGM falls apart, is being able to charge it fast. That's where lithium is better. It just is. You can charge it very fast, like many, many times faster. Let's see here. I started with an ultra cap. D said I started with an ultra cap. Go up from there. Yeah. Let's see. Good evening, my car audio brother. Good evening, car audio obsessed. How are you today? I want to be my own camera. I'm going to be my own camera for defense. Yeah. Get her done, man. Lex, I'd say more battery or super cap. Will 2 little banger 5Ks be good for 15K? Or with a 400 amp alt standalone alt? I would run one banger 10K. They would, yes. Two little banger 5Ks on a 400 amp would absolutely work. Yeah. But you're going to get a better deal running the 10K. So consider that. As long as the 10Ks are in stock. So yeah, I would run, well, whichever one's in stock. But yeah, they would absolutely work. 2 finger 5Ks will handle 20,000 watts with a big alternator. Easy. I'm running like 16, probably 17, 16,000 watts on a 10K right now. And I know I'm not getting that much power out of it because I'm running at 2 ohms, but it is what it is. You're not getting 15,000 watts either. I'm not sure what amp you're running or what series of amps you're running, but you can only pull out what you've got. You can only turn power into something else. So, yeah. That's car audio obsessed. Yeah. The slow charging is the problem. That's where AGMs die. The only way to fix that is to have many AGMs. So if you're wanting to be able, for example, I can push 500 amps back into my trunk thunder lithium battery on a constant basis. 500 amps, just shoving it back in constantly. You can't do that with an AGM battery. You can throw 500 amps at it, but it's not going to take but about 60 or 70 amps at a time. And you're going to be pulling out hundreds of amps at a time, which means the battery is just going to drop. It can't refill. It doesn't have there's no buffer left. And then you're just feeding off the alternator, and the alternator doesn't have any buffer, so you're only able to pull what the alternator can put out at one time. Everything just falls apart. You need a big ass storage that can take power quickly so you can put it back in there. It's a two-way system. You got to be able to put it back. And that's where lithium works. Capacitors will help with the AGM battery. If you're against lithium and you really don't want to run it, you can run a couple of 600, 800 farad of super caps, and you can get around a lot of that, but you're still sacrificing uh, some things. You're sacrificing some space. You're sacrificing some storage. Uh, uh, yeah, and probably money too. Lithium is the most efficient way of doing it right now. Um, let's see here. Uh, we'll get to that. Let me go back up here and see where I left off. You guys been going? Um, so little bangers, yes. 100%, yes. Got one ultra cap, decent. I got one ultra cap with three J AGMs on a Shock 8K. 218s, 300. Well, yeah, 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 yeah. That's enough. That's enough. Just barely though. The ultra cap, the ultra cap is the thing that keeps you going. Yeah, that'd work. Three AGMs. So you're taking in most of that power. Like I said, you got to have a bunch of them if you're going to. AGMs will work as long as you have a bunch of them. And then the ultra cap helps to fill in that buffer so it can keep pit power leveled out. And you're running a single 8K, so you're pulling probably 400 amps constantly. You got a 350 amp alt, so yeah, you're totally fine. That system would line up, but it ain't going to take. It won't take a whole lot above that to where you start seeing the weak links in those AGMs. You go a little bit more power, and you'll start to break over that efficiency curve. But yeah, you're fine right there. So sub dino man, sub dino. So I gotta come on. Yeah, I like the way I was pronouncing it before. Anyway, it says when you gonna hook that guitar up to my system? Uh, thinking about that, I could. It actually wouldn't be hard either. I could run a dongle, get a Bluetooth dongle, a Bluetooth wireless deal for my guitar, and then plug it into my tablet and just Bluetooth my guitar to the Tahoe. So it wouldn't be that hard at all to do that. I don't know. That'd be pretty crazy. I get an itch one day. I might do that stupid shit. It sounds like some dumb shit to do. Sometimes we do, stupid shit. Like the first guy that ever surfed on a hood, right? It's like, oh man, I wonder if we tied a rope around this hood and and threw all the kids on it, we could drag it down the road with all the kids piled on it. What was the first guy thinking that come up with that? And like, this is kind of shaped like a sled. Or what about the first guy to put a chair on the input shaft on a rear end and then pull the rear end around with somebody sitting in the chair spinning? What was that? I love it. Uh, Welcome back, Car Audio Obsessed. I would do lithium, but oh yeah, way north of Maine. Winter lithium isn't realistic. If you use what I'm using right now, the trunked under lithium, the banger, the 5K V1 was rated to negative 31 degrees Fahrenheit. The V2, I think, is rated to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And what that means is you can't charge it below that temperature. So if you're stuck though, if you're living way up there in the cold, I would be looking at different chemistries or lots of supercaps. A supercap bank would solve your problem. It's just not as efficient monetarily and space wise. But it in a situation of extreme cold, it's probably a better choice. Most of the cells that Brandon uses to build the trunked under lithium batteries are from the Chinese military equipment, and so they're literally designed to operate in Siberia. That's why they have such a high cold weather rating. The only reason that I'm running those in the Tahoes because they have that high cold rating. Um, Viking 15K. Okay, yeah. So on your amp, you're probably so by Zoinks, the Viking 15K. So at 1 ohm, say for example, it makes 15,000 watts RMS at 1 ohm. And let's assume that it does in fact make 15,000 watts RMS at 1 ohm. Okay, we'll give it that credit. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it makes a little more. But of course, with box rise, you're rising up to about 3 ohms, uh, between 3 and 4 ohms on a constant basis. Realistically, you'll be lucky if you're making half that much power clamped, which means that so if you're making 7,000 watts clamped actual power after a rise, and then you've got efficiencies. So you say your amp is 80% efficient, which is pretty high. You're still sacrificing 20% of that power that you're pulling in to heat. And then the other 80% is coming out as bass. But again, you're only making about half of what your actual amp is. Figure out what your amp is rated at 4 ohms, and then just figure that as what you're actually producing, because that's closer than the actual RMS for 1 ohm. It'll never be at 1 ohm unless it's not playing. As soon as the subwoofer starts moving, it's going to go. The ohm load shoots up. So, yeah, you're probably usually if you want to just do a real quick dirty math, just figure if the amp makes its power at 1 ohm that it's rated, cut that in half. That's about what you're going to get out of it, and that's in a best case scenario, is about half of what its rated is. Actual during playing on speakers. Imagine demoing live. Demo live. The old dogs. Dude, I demo live all the time. Oh, you mean like getting out there and playing guitar, letting my system rock out live. I played in bands when I was younger, so I've done that. I guess I did demo live back then. Never thought about it as demoing, but it was always about being louder than the other guys in the band and trying to get the girls to look at me. Those are the things that you had to focus on in a band, is to be the loudest guy in the group and the coolest guy and to get all the bitches. Yeah, that's pretty much the code for being a good band member. Odyssey is okay, and Nicole. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's AGM though. Different lithium cells have different ratings. Some are better than others in extreme cold or extreme heat. Yeah. Uh, if you know what cells be used in the battery, you can find the data sheet about it and get all the details. Exactly. um, like I said, there's a reason why I'm using trunk thunder lithium. It's because a whole lot of things. Actually, just a whole lot of reasons. But Brandon's picky about where the cells come from. He wants cells that can handle cold weather. He doesn't want to have the litigation of something bad happening because it got cold. He also wants cells that are reliable in all temperatures, in the heat and the cold. So he gets equipment that's good, and he tests it in extreme ways. Brandon beats the brakes off of everything he puts in it out for sale. He's going to abuse it in ways that you hadn't even thought of. Um, a lot before he'll get behind something. And yeah, yeah. To go over Trunk Thunder Lithium's YouTube channel, just watch some of the videos. You'll see exactly what he does, how he tests stuff. He's rough, very rough. I'll take my word for it. Jay said, that's why I'm louder on two smart 8Ks than my two 15Ks was. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Convert a door to a separate system. Open the door and play guitar. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it could be done. I can plug it in. I mean, if I took a regular quarter-inch jack cable and converted one end of it to an RCA cable, I could plug it straight into an amplifier, and it would do the thing. But ain't nobody wanting to hear me rock out. You don't put yourself out there unless you're good, man. And I'm not a great player. I'm okay, but I'm not good. I did something like that in my big truck for a little bit. Used to wake guys up at the truck stop out there picking around and playing around on my guitar. Got some dirty looks from other truck drivers, man. It's not a good situation. Not good at all. Uh, Man, you guys have been awesome tonight. I know I've been struggling. I was having a rough time, man. Today I got out there, and I realized when I was getting ready to leave for the show, I realized that this was going to be a shitty day. Physically, going to be a really bad day. Um, and I got there, and it proved itself to be 100% true. And it just kept getting worse. It got to where when I got out of the vehicle to go over to the trophy thing where they were handing out the awards and and announcing the places and stuff, I walked out my door around the front of my vehicle to the back end of the vehicle that was parked right beside me, parking lot stuff. So I walked maybe 15 feet, if that. And by the time I got to the corner of the bed of that truck, my knees were buckling, my head was spinning, and I was reaching out for the bed of that truck to grab hold of to keep myself stable. I was literally about to fall out right there in the parking lot from walking like 10 feet. And I'm sitting there, eyes blurry, brain blurry, knees buckling and trying to give, balance gone, holding on to this damn truck. And after about 20 or 30 seconds, everything settled back into place. And I was like, oh man. And I haven't even eaten anything at that point. I was like, I haven't even eaten any food yet. And this is how bad it is. And then I got home and yeah, it just kept getting worse, man. And anyway, we're here. We get her done anyway. I got stick to itiveness. Uh, Franco Quaid said, "Have a good week, everybody." Yep, I agree. And Joe Berserker said, "Take care, gotta run." Jay Shipe said, "I got hit by a car when I was packing up a truck for scraping the coast. Threw me on the hood, and my head busted the windshield." Son, the question is, did you hit the car back? Holy hell, my friend. On that note, you guys, that's rough, man. Damn it, son. That was heavy, man. When was this? When did this happen? Right? I don't know why, but it was like I'm just visualizing somebody flying up on the hood of a car. Like, holy crap, dude. And he's sitting there having a conversation with me now. Apparently, you was born in the country. Can't nobody take a hit like that unless you're a country boy. I got kicked in the head by a horse. I don't remember any of it. That's, that shit went sideways completely. Lost money on the hotel you had paid for. You had went to. Oh shit! This was just the other day. Holy crap, dude! Lost money on the hotel. That's that's me, man. I'd be pissed about that. Be up in the hospital going, damn, man, I paid for a hotel room. Y'all got me eating this crappy hospital food, and I got a hotel room that I paid for, and I can't even go. Ain't worried about the gash in your head or your neck being half broke or your spine being split open. You're worried about the hotel room. Oh, man, that's totally my way of looking at it, too. But you guys have a great night.
Yeah. Yeah. Out here banging up and down the street, slamming that to the ground. Big subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. Getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Power's charging, amps are amping, gonna let the woofers blow. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the dust. Eyes are glowing and the aim is smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming, gotta keep the bass fan. I'm gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz in the floating hair. Sparks are flying, voice cords are frying, and the smoke is in the air. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Hey, we got more at home. Another one bites the dust.